It was an amazing opportunity. I've always admired and respected this place. I grew up not too far from here and had some opportunities as a kid to come and train and compete at West Point. And growing up in a very patriotic household, I think this place always kind of captured a part of my imagination and was always something that I really respected and admired. And when I started having some conversations with the athletic director, it seemed like an amazing opportunity. And one thing led to another, and we came here. They're living life differently than most young Americans. They've made some decisions and some commitments that are special and that are unique. I think it feels different to work here. It feels important. It feels like you're doing something that matters, that you're part of something larger than yourself, that there's an underlying mission and a sense of responsibility that these cadets have. And I'm very grateful to have a chance to be part of it. They got to love the sport. You know, they've got to be in it for the long haul and really committed to seeing what they can do. They've got to be wanting to try to live their lives a little differently than most young Americans. They've got to want to push and challenge and see what they're capable of. And I think the third thing is they've got to respect family, team. They got to want to be part of something larger than themselves. I think if they love swimming and diving, if they want to challenge themselves in a unique way and are open to that, and if they really value team and the idea of being part of something larger than themselves, you know, I can't imagine a better team on God's green earth than the Army team. And so they've got to value that team, family. I take a lot of pride in the improvement of our team in and out of the pool, the cultural changes that our program's been able to make. I think, though, the proudest moment every year is the bar pinning ceremonies, when we can recruit and bring people here and then see them commissioned as young officers. Always, it's a unique thing, and that moment, you know, when all of a sudden they're Army officers is something I really take a lot of pride in. It's pretty cool. Been very fortunate. I've had my club coach growing up, a guy named Dave Alexander, was a second father to me and taught me a lot about coaching and athlete development and the sport in general. My first big job, I was the assistant coach at Cal State Northridge under a guy named Pete Accardi, who was the Division II Coach of the Decade, who had, you know, won 13 NCAA titles at that level, and I hit him at the right time. He took me under his wing and really taught me a lot about how to live this life and you know, and how to prioritize, how to put a whole program together. My college coaches had a tremendous influence on me. Dave and Pete unfortunately have passed away, but a guy named Joe Fisher, who's recently retired, and I get to go and speak at his retirement. I always knew I was going to be a coach, and I'd go and eat lunch with Joe and sit in his office and ask him questions and try to pick his brain about, you know, how do you make a life, a career in coaching? And so I would say those three people have been the biggest influence, inspiration to me. Every stroke, every event has a certain drill progression associated with it. And so I don't know that there's any particular favorite, although I do love training in the aerobic power energy system. max VO2 energy system where we're pushing the envelope. You know, we're 160 to 180 heart rate for an extended period of time and kind of getting going in that. And so I would say if there's a favorite event to train, probably 200 butterfly, you know, where that energy system is tapped into, you know, in a big way. But there's drills, there's progressions, there's stuff that we're working on every day, all throughout practice. The vision is everybody gets faster, that we have a great experience, that men and women work together in a stressful, competitive environment to exceed their expectations and produce extraordinary results, that we win our conference championship, that we beat Navy, and that we're well represented at the NCAAs.